In today's video, I'm going to talk about the truth about solo traveling. If you have traveled solo before, or if this is your first time and you think about traveling the world by yourself and you're scared, stay with me because this video is for you. So I started traveling 15 years ago and I have traveled the world. I have been to most places that I want to go to, and many of these trips were solo. And I did it back then, 15 years ago, as a young, naive girl. And when solo traveling wasn't a trend, it wasn't a thing. Now it's normal and we see people doing that all the time. But back then, that wasn't the case. It was a bit weird, I'm not gonna lie. But you know what it wasn't? It wasn't scary. Fear was not in my mind, not even for a second. I was so fed up because I always made plans with other people, with my friends, and they always had other things to do. Sometimes they didn't have money because we were so young. Sometimes they made other plans and I ended up not going on vacation. I missed my vacation because of other people. So one day I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna go. And I started solo traveling. And it was the best decision I've ever made. Do you know what is scarier than solo traveling? Not traveling. It's all about priorities. Do you want to travel? Do you really want to travel? If you do, then solo traveling wouldn't be scary. And at the end of the day, in my opinion, solo traveling is even better, way better than traveling with friends. And I'm gonna tell you why. Let's just admit it, all of us as human beings, we're selfish. I don't know, maybe you argue that. You can argue all you want. But by human nature, we are selfish. And nobody wants to compromise, especially on their vacation. Because you may compromise if you wanna go just for a regular night out. You don't wanna go to the cinema, but your friend wants to go to the cinema and you're like, okay, let's go to the cinema, who cares? But on your vacation, because you work hard, you have put money aside, you have worked hard for that money, and it's your vacation. It's your time, it's your trip. You wanna live it to the fullest. You don't wanna compromise on your vacation. Nobody wants to do that. So guess what happens? If you've ever gone on a trip with a bunch of friends, most of the time, these people tend to argue or end up fighting. Some of them may want to go to this place. Some other people may want to go to another place. You don't agree and you may not have the best time that you thought you would. But guess what? If you're solo traveling, this does not happen. You get to choose your own times. You choose what time you want to get up. You choose what time you want to have breakfast, where you want to have breakfast, where you're going to go for lunch, which party you want to go to, which monument you want to see, where you want to go, where you want to eat, where you're going to stay, what time you're going to bed. You don't depend on another person's schedule. So in my opinion, solo traveling is the best. And you have to be selfish, in my opinion. It's not bad to be selfish because at the end of the day, everyone thinks about themselves. So why don't you please yourself? Because you have worked hard for this trip. You have worked hard for your vacation. You deserve that trip. You deserve your vacation. And you shouldn't depend on your friends or whatever that might be. Just get on that plane and go on that trip. And guess what? You can always have your camera. You can always meet new people. I always talk to a bunch of people. Every time I travel, I meet a lot of people. Whether they are solo or friends or a group of friends or couples. And you all become a huge group of people. You all have the same goals. You want to have a good time. But at the same time, you don't want to compromise. If this group of people want to go to another place and you don't want to go to, you can choose your own schedule. You can do your thing. So solo traveling, in my opinion, is the best. It's not that scary as it sounds like. And it's not that scary as it used to be. Because when I first did it 15 years ago, there were some people that looked at me with surprise. Maybe I was too young, I guess. They were like, are you alone here? Did you come here alone all by yourself? And I was like, yeah, why not? And I was partying. I didn't care, you know. Why should you care? Nobody cares. Who cares? Just get on that plane and go on that trip. And at the end of the day, it's better to regret for things that you did than regret for things that you didn't do.